On today's show, we enjoy an original spoken word performance, shop local to find treasure, and talk about upcoming things to do in our South Shore towns. You can get the bad news in lots of places. On The Local Scene, it's all about what's good and good to know. I'm Elizabeth. Let's get started. Playing in a drum circle is a bonding experience that boosts your immune system and has a healing effect on anxiety, grief, and fatigue. On June 10th from 12 to 1 p.m., build a beat with the Duxbury Art Complex Museum and South Shore Conservatory Percussion Department Chair Ed Sorrentino. In this interactive session, you'll play musical games and create a group rhythm and vibe. Sessions will be held outdoors in the sunshine, and if the sun doesn't, you'll bang the drums inside the Phoenix Gallery. To register, visit artcomplex.org. Hometown Laureates is a newly established nonprofit promoting poetry, spoken word, visual, and the performing arts throughout the town of Plymouth. The Local Scene is happy to be Hometown Laureates' media partner, and together with the Plymouth Cultural Council and Mass Cultural Council, presented their inaugural Poetry Open Mic event on April 24th. Over the next several weeks, we'll bring you these original readings in the order they were performed. Here is Betsy Hinchy with her original work.
Tonight's first speaker is Betsy Hinchy. Betsy, did I say your last name correctly? Hinchy? Great. Betsy Hinchy lives in Plymouth with her mustachioed husband and her rambunctious pup, Potato. You may see them on their walks to the beach and along Grace Trail. She is balancing her day job as a global health professional with writing a collection of hybrid poetry. Betsy, come on up here. Thanks so much.
All right. Hi. So this first poem is called One. One. If trees are connected, underground synapses relaying information between root systems and fungal filaments about sunlight, drought, and the wrenching pain of chainsaws and relentless itch of termites, or the qualities and nutrients in soil that humans have yet to create names for, then what other connections exist beyond our blunt eye? Did the stars communicate deep intergalactic frequencies less detectable than dark matter? Or do planets warn each other of species that eat away their insides or corrode their atmospheric bark? When stars burn, do they send smoke signals through their funeral pyres? Or is their combustion more like rebirth, a celebratory candle in the sky? We extend our eyes, ears, mouths, and fingers into the world like roots searching for signals, or not searching, but receiving nonetheless. We grasp at the air around us, gather broken pieces of incomplete information, and relay it back to our too heavy brains. Unlike the trees, tendrils intertwine for miles and miles and miles of forest, we stand stiff, like telephone poles stretched across the earth's surface, and toss each other wires, hoping we don't lose much in the static, hoping our lines don't get tangled or weighed down by birds or wrapped around another's neck. But what if there's something more important than underground tree networks or humans' desperate attempts to understand each other and everything? What if there's an energy that can't be understood by us or the trees, vibrations of the universe that connect all, no matter the species or star? Here, 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 it says, this. Are we all too distracted translating more tangible languages that we miss the most important of all? Here, this. If for a moment we could connect with the frequencies of nature and earth and air, sense the signals of the stars, feel the rippling vibrations, what would happen? Would we be sent spinning like tops, waiting to topple, hoping to fall in the direction of righteousness, waiting and spinning until we forgot we would ever want to stop spinning at all? And I have one more shorter poem inspired by Plymouth. It's called Burial Hill. Burial Hill. Erect slabs of slate mark 400 years of death, pilgrim souls beneath lichen-covered stone. I climb the grassy mounds, wondering what's left of the spirits from this town, and remember getting lost in the paved paths of the cemetery in Lviv, Cossack soldiers, borscht brewing babusi, and other versions of myself, of us all, buried beneath. I can hear their ghosts wailing as more Ukrainian children are killed in a war they thought would be over by now. But the pilgrims taught me nothing ends. Husband, wife, the headstones read, parted below, united above. Perhaps this makes us feel better, the inevitable reunion with lost love, lost land, or makes it easier for us to hurt each other. The Russian boy with a rifle strapped across his back, hands empty, walking towards golden fields and something that can never be undone. Pray for me, he asked his mother on the phone. Later, left behind in a trench, barely buried, his body piled among others, he will not have a gravestone. His comrades strip his wrist of watches he pillaged from villages. Pray for me, his vacant eyes call out to the blue sky. Pray for us, the pilgrims called out that first winter, hiding their loved ones' bodies in deep holes, hands dirty after unearthing Indian bones from shallow graves, newfound buried treasures in their pockets. Pray, we plead, as heard as the pilgrim screams across the sea. Fall upon your knees and pray for all of us who will soon fill graves not yet dug. I bury my prayers on this hill and watch the moss grow over. Thank you.
For exciting news about upcoming Hometown Laureates events, here is Board President Jennifer Harris.
America's Hometown Laureates save the date. America's Hometown Laureates Board has been awarded a grant from the Massachusetts Cultural Council to host the Plymouth Poetry Festival during the week of June 5th through June 9th. Our board is working on the who, what, when, and where, but we already know the why. The festival will be an opportunity to showcase people's love of poetry and the spoken word. We are planning on 2 events per day at different locations throughout Plymouth. The dates are Tuesday, June 6th, Wednesday, June 7th, and Thursday, June 8th. I am pleased to announce that our first event will be on June 6th at Uva Wine Bar starting at 7 p.m. We will also be at Shirley Square on Court Street from 4 to 6 p.m. on Wednesday, June 7th. We encourage families to stroll by because we know kids love poetry too. We will continue to add to our calendar of events on the Hometown Laureates website, so keep an eye out. Each location will have their own special twist on an open mic event. PAC TV will be recording at the individual settings, and we will have a different master of ceremony at each one. Please contact hometownlaureates@gmail.com to find out more about which venue you are interested in attending. You might want to read your own poetry, or you might want to listen to other poets as you sip some wine and munch on some charcuterie. As always, thank you for your interest in what's happening around Plymouth. We know that poetry is alive and well on the South Shore, so come and enjoy.
Save the date. The Plymouth Area Chamber of Commerce's annual Bark in the Park event will be held on June 10th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Nelson Park. If your furry friend loves music and attention, they won't want to miss the parade of dogs, live music, over 30 pet-related vendors, and the crowning of America's hometown hound. There'll be food trucks and a beer garden for humans to enjoy too, making this event worthy of a round of applause. Visit PlymouthBarkinthePark.com to learn more. If you're you're looking to have an afternoon date night or a fun family outing, keep the oven turned off and head to the Hilltop Athletic Association in Kingston for Food Truck Thursday, presented by the South Shore Food Truck Association. From 4 to 8 p.m., feast on a variety of fare from some of your favorite local food trucks, listen to live music, and partake in a drink or two from the full cash bar. There'll even be some fun activities for the littles. Visit the South Shore Food Truck Association's Facebook page for more details. Judith Windsor Smith was a pioneer, women's suffrage activist, social reformer, and abolitionist who lived in Pembroke, Mass. In the 1800s. She and her shipbuilder husband, Sylvanus Smith, spent their early married years in the South Shore town before moving to East Boston, where she immersed herself in the fight for women's rights. At the age of 99 years old, Windsor Smith victoriously took part in the first women's vote in 1920. In honor of her service to the movement, the Pembroke Council on Aging will hold a bridge dedication in her name on June 16th at 11 a.m., when you can learn all about the life and influence of this local trailblazer. Presenting at the dedication will be Massachusetts State Representative Josh Cutler, Gender and Women's Studies Professor Dr. Laura Prieto, Research Director of the Pembroke Historic Society Miles Prescott, and Colin Smith, Judith's great-grandson. Following the dedication, there will be an unveiling of the Judith Windsor Smith Memorial Bridge, located on Scoosett Street on Route 139 in Pembroke, near Have to Have It. To reserve your spot, call the Pembroke COA at 781-294-8220. Thrifting is not only a fantastic way to get creative with your clothing, but also reduces our carbon footprint and saves money while creating a wardrobe or home decor unique to you. We went on the local scene to Local Mystique, a small shop in Plymouth, to see why people are enjoying the art of the thrift.
It was just something that I've been doing for so long, thrifting, and the more I did it, the older I got, the more I started to pick out more quality items, and then basically just kind of realized that I was acquiring all these items that I was then gifting to people, and just kind of realized that maybe we could all put our heads together, and you know, if our friends are liking what we're giving them, then maybe other people will like what we can find too.
Sam has always been a big thrifter, and she's found so many unique items over the years, and hanging out with her, we've learned how to hunt and dig and find those cool things, and you know, we've always wanted to share with other people, and Katie had the idea, and kind of the ball just started rolling, and the momentum was just gradual, and it just took off from there.
We're a thrift art and antique shop. We've been around for almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in December, and we sell secondhand items. Sam, our co-owner with us here, she's been big into thrifting her whole life, and we really just wanted to do something together, and we'd go out thrifting and on our own and separately, and just see the things that people had in the businesses, and we really just thought that it would be something fun for us to do, and we didn't think that it would come to fruition anytime in the near future, but once the idea came to us, we really started looking, and we found the place to rent, and then the rest just came together.
It started off with us finding everything. We didn't really accept much of any donations in the beginning. Now we're getting a bit more as time goes on, but with that we have to be more selective because we have such limitations with the space, and we're also trying to have such a specific idea in mind. So yeah, we'll spend hours scouring the internet, Facebook Marketplace. We found a lot of unique things, auctions, yard sales, other thrift stores if we have the time.
You know, I'm always out there hunting at yard sales, estate sales, any curb alerts, anything like that, you know, something that might have ended up at a landfill or in the trash.
Depending on the place, you have to really dig, which is the fun of it all, you know, so if you have the time, then that's probably my favorite way to find stuff, is to just go out and dig for hours.
We really like the concept of using secondhand items. There's a lot of stuff out in the world already, so we feel like having a thrift shop allows people to get items that are already in existence, that are a lot of times a lot cooler than you would get in your big box stores, and it's saving the planet from just more waste and throwing things away.
I mean, we'll reuse everything we get, down to the bags that people bring in with, you know, things that they're selling to us, or, you know, we reuse everything that we can as much as we can. And
if we can find it, clean it up, give it a new home, that's the main mission here.
We have all walks of life, and that's what's so great about it. We have young people, we have older people, just people from all different backgrounds. And so there's certain people who like to buy certain items, but we really have such a huge mix of customers that it's hard to pinpoint a specific type.
right now I'm seeing a lot of younger kids buying vinyl, more younger kids going for vintage clothing, and then depending on what it is, you know, like our stained glass lamps or like home decor is probably more older people. But yeah, it just depends on what it is, I guess.
But we like to have antiques for the older generation. We like to have fun stuff for younger people. Just try to have a mix of everything. One of my favorite days that I had here was 3 generations of ladies came in, and each one of them was able to find something here, and that made me feel so good.
You're really seeing this upward momentum with the younger kids. It's cool to thrift, and I just think that's so amazing because it always has been cool, but I'm really psyched that people are realizing that finally. So just thrifting in general is like, people are down to reuse things finally, and I'm loving to see it.
We get people that are local to the community. We have people that travel here. They see us online or hear about us from friends and will travel down. We actually had a couple from Sweden that was on vacation here in Plymouth, you know, just stop by randomly, and we got a picture from them, a mirror and a record that we sold them, made it all the way to Sweden, and we got to see it decorated in their living room. So we literally get people from all over the world here.
My favorite piece, I'd say, is the pants that I'm wearing today that I was able to get secondhand, and they were barely used, and I just love them. This is something I would never be able to buy brand new, and I just think that they're so fun and vintage looking.
Oh my God. Well, almost everything I have is thrifted. I would have to say my jackets, like I have so many favorite jackets, and my boots and shoes. It's hard to say which one, but always looking for shoes, and I have such a thing for jackets, and I have some of the most amazing jackets I've ever seen.
This is a thrifted shirt. I love, you know, all the vintage shirts where you get the wolves, the dragons. I love all those kinds of things. I grew up the youngest of 4 boys, so thrifting was, you know, necessary in our house. So, you know, with a limited budget, you know, if you could find something for cheap that was really cool, you know, you couldn't afford to get it brand new at a store. So thrifting was a part of our life.
It's not something I grew up with, but as I got older, it's something that I started doing more of, and really just going to antique shops and just unique, eclectic little shops. And really, as I got older, that's where I got into it more and more. And then Sam was a big influence in that as well, because it's something she's always been passionate about. So she kind of would bring us out, and we'd see what kind of things we could get and the gifts she would give us. And we said, wow, this is a lot cooler than things that we could go out and buy on our own. And so then that's really what got us into it.
It's been like my way of letting off steam for as long as I can remember. I literally got off the highway a few months ago in California because I was overwhelmed by how many lanes there were, and I found the nearest thrift store, and I went there and I spent a couple hours just like letting off steam, and that's what I've always done. Whenever I have spare time, around here especially, eventually I'd have my phone in my hand and I'd start looking up where this came from and how much it's worth, and, you know, the dig and the hunt and the, you know, treasure hunt of it all.
It's going really well. Since we've opened up in the middle of the pandemic, so we didn't really know what to expect, but it's steadily increased. We've had a lot of positive support from the community, and at this point, more and more people know about us, and then the days are getting busier and busier.
We're already talking about our next spot and where it's going to be and how much bigger and how much more space we're going to have for things. I see it going somewhere big, I do.
For more information on Local Mystique, visit localmystique.com or find the store on Facebook. Get out your go-go boots. Beehive, the 60s musical, is coming to Priscilla Beach Theater from June 2nd to June 10th. Beehive is a celebration of powerful female voices told from the perspective of 6 women coming of age in the swinging 60s. This peppy musical is an energetic salute to the female vocalists that defined an era, like Aretha Franklin, Janis Joplin, Tina Turner, The Supremes, and more. Complete with 60s fashion and larger-than-life hairdos, this production will have audiences of all ages up out of their seats and dancing. To get your tickets, visit the Priscilla Beach Theater's website. Join the Kingston Public Library for a new and exciting exhibit, A History of Kingston's Maritime and Shipbuilding Industries. From June 7th through the 21st, the Adams Center will be the location for this local history collection that will showcase historic, archival materials on Kingston-based maritime industries. Learn all about the local shipbuilding, shipping, and maritime tool-making industries that contributed to the building of hundreds of ships that sailed the world and contributed to the country's economic boom. The exhibit will also include details on notable shipbuilders, historic buildings, homes, and locations, including such Kingston staples as Jones River Landing and Delano's Wharf. For viewing hours and other information, visit the KPL website. The American experience has always been unique for all who have lived it. In their summer program, American Voices, the Pilgrim Festival Chorus highlights those diverse experiences with 3 major themes: remember, struggling, and having fun. Held on June 24th and 25th at St. Bonaventure Parish in Plymouth, this uplifting concert will feature folk songs, spirituals, hymns, and selections from the American musicals Ragtime and Guys and Dolls. In collaboration with the Mass Cultural Council, WIC, and the Massachusetts Health Connector, the Pilgrim Festival Chorus participates in the Card to Cultural program, which aims to broaden accessibility to arts and culture. This program is supported in part by grants from Plymouth, Plimpton, and Scituate Cultural Councils, local agencies which are supported by the Mass Cultural Council. For tickets and more information about PFC, visit pilgrimfestivalchorus.org. Interested in decluttering your space? If you have a few things that could use a new home, the Kingston Council on Aging is holding an indoor yard sale on June 10th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sellers are asked that all items brought to the COA be clean and in usable condition. You'll have the option of renting up to 3 4-foot round tables or up to 3 6-foot rectangular tables. Reservations are made on a first-come, first-served basis. To reserve your table, call Kathy at 508-631-7628 by June 7th. If you're a resident of Pembroke and have been feeling overtired recently, the South Shore Recycling Cooperative, Plymouth County Mosquito Control, and the Town of Rockland can help with their May 24th tire recycling event. Bring your used off-rim car and truck tires to the Rockland Recycling Center from 4 to 8 p.m. There's a maximum of 5 tires per household and recycling sticker required. Participants must register. Visit the Town of Pembroke's website or ssrcoop.info. And that's what's good and good to know on the local scene this week. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. We are grateful for your attention. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe to The Local Scene here and share everywhere. Thank you, friends.